the best person at articulating this game that I've ever talked with.
Oh, that's facts.
Anyone who has ever talked with Quidd, he has a metaphor. I'm pretty sure Webb does too. The way that Quidd talks about the game is better than anyone that I've seen. You know, as someone who's been coached and done coaching in multiple sports, Quidd is able to articulate exactly what he needs to, and it makes sense when you see his game plans. You understand where he's coming from, and if you don't, you know, you ask him about it, he'll tell you. He'll tell you. He's not afraid to. And that's why he's able to kind of push his way out from Webb, who I believe was the second seed of this tournament. And already down a game, I mean, it still might be even, and there it is, right? This is the reason, one of the reasons why he's on Squirtle. He has an option to deal with the bouncing fish. Webb kind of forced to mix it up a little bit more than usual. Gets him a bit uncomfortable.
And just like, just showing like how not to like be smothered by Sheik all the time and just get up there.
Yeah, the way that at this, at this point, he has the IV out, trying to get his damage while he can. Goes for the second there, doesn't even opt out for a potential up there. And he's just continuing to try to play the mid-range.
Right. Ivysaur percentage too. He could probably die at this percent, honestly.
Yeah, try to even go for the overshoot there to mix it up.
Go up there.
I thought we were going to see like a raindrop potentially, or even so. Webb trying to net his way through his first stock, and I think this is why we're seeing the Ivysaur, right?
Yeah.
Someone who wants to keep you out.
Keep you out and just keep the stage control. Like, that's Ivy. Opt Zard. First time we see Zard here, but I can understand it.
Yeah, wants to live a little bit longer, willing to put his body on the line.
And even if he dies, he can just go back to like Squirtle and Opt.
It's the fear factor of Zard, right? And part of this, it gets a bit frustrating. You got such a deficit behind you. And what looked like, a pretty balanced set, in the beginning, it's all Quidd.
Yep.
Quidd games. This is his home.
That's what like we said, bro. You just can't sleep on Quidd. You know a thing or two, bro. You know a thing or two.
He definitely does. I mean, Webb managing to get that first stock and is starting to pull some things together as he starts his way through the second. Now, unfortunately, he has to deal with his Squirtle, who seemed to be a thorn in his side for sure, to say the least. I mean,
it's going to be pretty hard just to crawl your way back up, especially against Squirtle in this situation. Just because of just how, like, Quidd is just being evasive and just using all of his tilts and just water gun in general.
Yeah, the way that Squirtle is completely okay with these trades, right, is able to slightly outrange you at times, is what is going to, attempt to put Webb in the coffin. I mean, we've been seeing 82%, just put on from, just small, these calculations on this game plan. It is tight.
Yeah, just the little interactions he's just getting. Just really impactful. Webb is on. Ooh, he got his side special in. But still, he's back on the ledge. What's going to happen?
And while, the last time we saw Webb, I feel like we got a big momentum-based set with Light. We are in a different type of place here. You got someone who is more of a control-based player, right? Understand his avenues, able to commit to his game plan. And this is where you really see someone who's got a, definitely has their head in the game. And if you're not ready, you have to have an answer. And that's just the first step. That's just the first step. Like everything according to plan, right? Like that's the really difficult thing about Quidd. If you've played him before, you got to keep counter-adapting, and he's ready. He's got a solid game plan. That's the point of having the 3 Pokemon for this. In this case, you see so much of one over the other. By the way, spotlight moment from previous lane 1, the money man, I'm assuming. Bubbles cleaning up as we speak. Anyways, game 3, running it back on small battlefield. I believe this small space kind of works out. You need the platforms to get those potential raindrops and the combo extensions for Sheik. But
could also be beneficial to Squirtle as well.
Yeah. Even, and of course, Ivysaur. All the Pokemon have great extensions on flats. Now, I think Webb has to play a little bit more with some overshoots and some commitments there. He can't act as if he is the one in the driver's seat when it comes to like, oh, I'm just gonna hit you with this move, right? He has to make some more call-outs, make Quidd guess a bit more. Less of like the game plan, you know, more of like the mix-up.
That's actually a really like game that you can go for.
I'm saying, bro, I'm saying like, that's why I be coaching like.
I'm saying, you just be putting words better than me, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Either way, we got Quidd fighting his way off. This is a pretty even game. I mean, the needles are stocked up, and that means a potential stock. Webb finally finding his footing in this game 3.
But he's still in depth percentage, though. He can't take that out, but he could definitely get some edge credit, like this 10%.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We're seeing Quidd just opt out for the Squirtle.
Yeah, I'm actually was about to mention that.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess he thinks he could just like, at least he can just get the kill. Oh, just switch to Ivysaur stuff.
yeah, and it's interesting. You know, you're seeing Webb play at this moment, no fear.
Right.
I mean, maybe that's even with the Zard, still no fear. Not something you'll see by most players. Webb, there's a reason he's clawed his way here. He's very stubborn, I'll tell you that much. And
Yep. The Quidd classic. He's gonna stand in roll distance and just grab you. Just really good stuff. If you just play Quidd, just don't roll in, bro. He's already gonna be in that position.
he's ready.
He's ready.
Oh, Webb missing the read, and again, tries to put Quidd in a precarious situation. Not gonna work out. Quidd, 68%. I mean, that could have been a stock.
Facts. Just the up air strength, man. Just crazy. Give this character Ivysaur just one advantage.
Yeah, for
However,
sure. I mean,
Webb got his, and just got the kill.
yeah, Webb is really switched up the way you're seeing how he's playing a little bit farther than normal, you know, from the first 2 games, and is trying to opt in. You see the roll. That's to make him hesitate on his spacing. That's what's going to get Webb these hits, these grabs, these overshoots. It's all intentional at this point. We're seeing the adaptation. We're seeing the reason why he's taken several sets. He's a phenomenal PGR player, and it's making him, he's paving his way to become one himself.
Yeah. Like, look at the accolades so far players just have, man.
And it's great being able to see them play each other. Needle situation on 50-50 potential ledge trap, but didn't work out. Still pushes him off. And while these hits don't hit hard, they've surely stacked up. Yeah, just like that, a 2-stock rebuttal.
Yes. And really good adjustment just with Webb, just like what you said, just spacing out the long game. Just using his needles a little bit more in situations where he's like, okay, he's gonna do this. I'm just gonna hit you, use the needle here, possibly go off stage and get my extension, and just go back. You know?
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to PS2 for this game. Lower ceiling, longer stage.
What do you think, honestly, what do you think Quidd can just do better right now?
At this point, you know, when it comes to players who are really kind of just looking to win the generic game plan, and I don't think it's a bad game plan at all,
right.
Of just, you know, trying to abuse what makes the character good, and the counterplay to that is forcing these guesses, forcing these hesitations. Seeing Webb do right now, right? The answer after that, I mean, you have another Pokemon to play with, but it's also just to play a little bit slower.
Right.
Play a little bit more slower so that you can try to force out these actions and try to get a reaction so that, it's not there. But I mean, there's a difference, you know, when Webb has that confidence.
Confidence,
right?
and the momentum. I can just see it right now. He's very momentum-based.
Yep, he's most definitely a momentum-based player, and he knows when he hits you, he's going for the kill. It's not, you know, There's nothing on his mind besides the fact that I want to kill this man. 1,000,000%. And that's why he's able to get that you know, that runoff up B. I'm not exactly sure, but I mean, it nets that first stock, and he's still going. And this is where we see those hits. No longer with needles, but
the eye on Webb's part. I'm not that early.
Yet again, it's the thing with that Zards love doing, that flamethrower, able to set into a potential F6 to get the kill. And Quidd is starting to claw his way back into this one.
It's slow but surely, yeah.
That withdraw, he still has an opportunity for sure. I mean, it's Pokemon training. The swap into Ivy, even the next jump with the Zard, you got a lot of opportunity here. And just like that, starting to gain center to stage, but it is Webb pushing his way through to find that up smash.
I could hear correctly when he said he's playing more confident. He seems to have the download just on the idea, on Quidd's game plan. Just things like Ivy, just like really just pushing his advantage forward.
Yeah, it's just trying to understand the point of when. Ooh.
Wow.
When his opportunities lie.
Right.
And Quidd struggling to kind of get something out. And this is where the frame data of Sheik comes into play, right? It is crazy seeing this all happen.
That punish game was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Golly.
When you see it in person, especially, like you're like, wow, that really happened to me. You know, you're playing Webb. It is why Sheik is such a difficult character to play. I mean, you won't see this from someone just playing them randomly.
Right.
It's because it's Webb. He creates the opportunity. Once he has the confidence, he is driving through you. And just like that, what looked like what is going to be a 3-0 in the beginning of this, immediately into a game 5, Quidd has to find his rebuttal, brings it back to PS2. Now, this is where it gets tricky, right? Do you try, how are you going to try to douse out the flame that is Webb? You know, are you going to try to put a stopper in his face? Sometimes it's, you know, sometimes when you really deny somebody something just by, like, you know, hitting them in a certain way, it'll work out. Other times just by changing the tempo, slowing the game out. And we're seeing, instead of opting for center stage as much, you know, oh, he's actually starting to lean in. But you see how he's starting to shield more. Understand needles, that's a bad time. That's a bad time.
Shielding and just slowing it down. Honestly.
Yeah, it looks like a lot more water gun here. Just trying to cool him off. I mean, figuratively and literally, it seems.
Webb got to see what type of damage he got after that. 40%.
Yeah, that's what these plats will do. I mean, most cases, it is not much.
Good patience there. It's
but,
not,
you know,
pulling the trigger early with his recovery.
Yeah, that's the adaptation, right? The water guns before, and just like that, look at the double needles on the same conversion. Water gun pushing him back just to stop him from the momentum. But man, Webb is really starting to bring this. Oh!
He really went for that. Oh my gosh, but that was a really good switch.
Did you see that walk forward?
Yeah.
He said, you know, just like he waited for that game 4 and for Light. Quidd, game 5, he's like, nope. I'm here to win. I'm here to show you right now I'm in the lead. And now Quidd having to force his way through this. You see him playing a bit more aggressive, waiting on this ledge trap opportunity. Not going to work out. This is looking rough for Quidd. I mean, 81 is honestly not bad, but you're seeing the way that he's being forced to play, having to do a lot more dash shields, not getting the trades that he was getting earlier on. And he's already racked up 50. This was, you know, the original game plan, right? Ivy coming out at this point. I mean, he is on ledge, but that grenade.
He's just getting a lot off of just getting off the ledge. I think he would have just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's looking rough for him for sure. I mean,
he kind of looks lost.
Hometown here, kind of getting cooked at this point. I'm going to be real about it. But there is always a chance. Like you can't count someone like Quidd out. The down air, That was a pretty interesting hitbox on that, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that didn't kill? Dang. Oh, it's because bouncing fish stopped momentum. Okay, great. I thought he might got caught by bad DI. Either way, and look at that, a punish off the downer. That's not something that most characters are able to do, especially when you down on plat like that. And now Quidd is the one finding trouble to kill. Gets it with Charizard, as is, you know, the typical PT thing. But now he's got to bring this forward. I mean, they're both at low percents. He needs this conversion.
Yeah. I once said he was lost, but it's looking like he's figuring it out right now, man.
And it's
But
the
it still
question
has
of,
to fight.
yeah, it's the question of whether it's too late or not. Look at all the momentum there. Looking for these tilts.
It's late?
And almost the kill right there. Quidd is showing some light in this game 5 with a stock down, pretty much even percent.
Sometimes the best version of yourself is when you're back into the corner. And we're seeing this right now with Quidd.
Oh,
And I just said my words.
I mean, that was the first time we've seen that connect all set. Webb actually timing it for that. Great job to him. And honestly, that set was full of so many different opportunities, so many different switch ups. It wasn't something you typically would see. Shout out to Quidd.